am going live. It is 7 a.m. EST. I'm going live with Raw Chef Yin, and she is all the way across the globe in Malaysia. So it's 8 p.m. her time. So we were trying to find a time when both of us could jump on. And there she is. I'm gonna see if I can get her to join. Give me 1 second. Excited for today. Let me know what you're making for your dinner.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hello!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving!
It's so exciting to do this live finally with you. I wanted
Yeah,
to see you face to face and get to chat. It's awesome.
yeah, especially since I've tried out so many of your recipes, but this is our first time actually chatting with each other.
Yeah, I know. You make amazing raw vegan food.
Oh, thank you.
Really one of the best culinary artists I've seen to date. So I'm excited to dive in and find out like how you got on the journey of being plant-based, especially being raw, and what led you to be inspired to go this route.
Right. Actually, so in the early 90s, I read a lot about, how eating animals are not good for you. So I started cutting down on meat.
Hmm.
So I guess, like what people call flexitarian nowadays, like, less meat. But because of social pressures, I still had to eat, yeah, a bit here and there when I'm out with my family and all that. And then everyone's like, you better eat some fish if not you're gonna not get your protein. And I didn't know
Yeah.
that was, yeah, I didn't even know the word veganism then. I mean, like, vegetarianism is quite common in Malaysia, but not being vegan. And then what happened was in, I think, 2014, I was actually looking for an ice cream recipe, and then a healthy ice cream recipe, and then I found this Rossum Vegan Life, and she had a raw vegan lasagna. And so I decided, like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me try making that. And then I was so blown away by the taste, and what was more important, I was so blown away by how I felt, because I was like, it was my first time making a raw meal, and first time eating it and feeling so much energy. And then I just kind of got hooked. And then I took some courses from Matthew Kenny Culinary, and then I just started posting the pictures online because I just wanted to document it. It was not to be, it was never to be in this line. I was just like, I want to make better raw food for my boyfriend because the recipes that I found online weren't very good. So that's why I was taking courses to learn about it. And then people started getting curious and requested me to teach. So I started doing workshops. And then from there, I got really passionate about it. And yeah, so I was doing demos and workshops,
Wow.
pop up dinners, videos, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And those were
Yeah.
all locally in your country, like, or were you doing it all online, like demos online
I,
and
w-
with your
I
friends and
yes.
family?
So initially it was all in person.
Uh-huh.
So first just in Malaysia, and then after that and then the vegan festival started to invite me to present. So I presented at the Perth Vegan Expo. I presented at Bali Vegan Festival. I also did some workshops in London, in Brighton. Where else? Yeah, so yeah, travel around the world actually. I taught a family in France how to make raw food. Yeah,
Cool.
I gave a talk and also taught, did a demo on raw vegan cheese when I was in Boston with my MIT alumni friends. And then yeah, so all over the world. And then you know what happened. And then I had to switch to online. So that's in 2020. I started doing, like, I think sometime in 2020. Yeah, we were just like, we had like three major lockdowns here in KL, and it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was so strict, and we couldn't go out, we couldn't do anything, we couldn't even go in. At one point we couldn't even go to the park, so I was just like busy doing everything online.
Yeah.
So in 2020 and 2021 I was doing everything online, but things have opened up now, so I'm starting to do in-person demos again, and then I'll see what I'm going to do. Oh, my friend
Oh,
says, "Hey,
the
Bhartia,
raw vegan cheese workshop is what turned me vegan.
yay!" Yeah,
Amazing.
that was the workshop in Boston. Yeah, he was really cool.
Wow.
I'm so glad
That's
and I'm so happy.
amazing.
Yeah,
So
so
your classes all started from 2020. You have so many educational video classes that people can take. I saw on there. I mean, just going through your Christmas book and all the recipes that you have, you also talk about all the other classes that you can take, which you have dumplings, I think you
yeah,
have
dim sum.
um
Yeah.
um
I
just
have Thai, I
Korean
have
food,
Vietnamese.
Thai,
Yeah.
Vietnamese, yeah, all these different types of things, and you show people how they can make it raw vegan,
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
amazing. So probably, yeah, I think you have one of the biggest like collections of different types of foods and recipes that if people wanted to learn, especially if they're from different country and they have like they want the flavor from from just not typical like American or Western food.
Yeah.
I like everybody loves that, and just to know like you have that niche that you can really um, flavor everything appropriately because you know the flavors, and I just love
Exactly. Yeah,
love
because
the variety that you have.
thank you. Because I, as a Malaysian and an Asian, I love my Asian flavors, and
Yeah.
I didn't find it very well represented in a lot of the books or the courses available.
Yeah,
So what I did was I used the techniques that I learned how to make raw food and then apply it to Asian food and all this. I think
I love that.
most probably like all the countries that I mean, except for Japan. I haven't been to Japan, but all the other places because I have traveled like Thailand. I've traveled to Thailand at least like 20 times or something like that. I've traveled because for I used to work in the corporate world, so I used to cover Asia and Asia Pacific for work. So I've traveled to all these countries. You know, Vietnamese. I covered traveled to Vietnamese many times. I've eaten the Vietnam food, Thai food. Yeah, I've been to India. Yeah, a couple of times as well. And we have a huge Indian community here as well. So all these are all flavors and tastes and dishes that Indonesia that I'm used to and I understand it. And so yeah, that is where my focus is. That is where my passion is.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I love it. And let's see, I have several questions for you.
Sure.
Did you feel like you had a health change when you went raw? Like did you
Yes, that was I suffered from eczema for about 30 over years. It were all on my fingers and my
Oh wow.
toes, and it was like cracking and bleeding and itching and all that. And I tried all sorts of I was trying to look for all sorts of solutions. You know, we went to Western doctors, skin specialists. All they do is like prescribe you steroid creams over and over. And then or they tell you, oh, you grow out of it, or you know, one was even more ridiculous. It's like, oh, you're allergic to gloves, you need to wear like 3 pairs of gloves or something like that. You know, like cotton and plastic gloves and rubber gloves all at the same time before you can do anything. And then I tried Ayurvedic treatments, I tried traditional Chinese medicine. Nothing worked until I became raw vegan and my skin just cleared up. Like everything. So like I used to do you know my fingers were so bad that when I went to US and when I put my thumbprints, they're like they had such a hard time reading my fingerprints because you know I had like my skin condition was so bad. So it was that bad. Yeah. Every
Oh my
time I always panic when I go through passport control because they can't read my fingerprints. Yeah. So that cleared up. And also
wow.
prior to that, I used to fall like I get a common cough and cold like every month I would fall sick. And that stopped as well. So yeah, I was so convinced. And then after that I discovered like the horrors of animal agriculture and I was like, okay, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this works for me, I'm not going back. So yeah.
I I had a similar really low immune system. I would get sick like 6 or 7 times every single year. I always had a cold or a flu, and it would last me like 6 or 7 or sorry, 6 to 10 days, sometimes up to 2 weeks. And then I would get asthma attacks on top of that. And going plant-based, like literally cutting out dairy. made me made after getting out of dairy, I was like, this is the reason I'm getting sick. It was actually what
Yeah.
was the mucus and causing the inflammation and causing me to get sick and then cycling into asthma attacks. So
Yeah. And I
similarly,
remember asking the doctors, I'm like, do I need to avoid any foods? And they're like, no, 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 you can eat anything you want, and it's not the food and all that. And I'm like, until now, I'm so angry with the doctors. It's like, why you tell me that?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that's how I felt too. They didn't really have answers for me. They didn't tell me to avoid anything, and they just said that I would have these conditions for life, essentially. They were just like, well, you'll maybe grow out of it, or you maybe won't, and we'll just see. But that's so cool that it cleared up your eczema because I think a lot of people have chronic conditions that they just have tried everything else for, and maybe they haven't tried the raw vegan diet yet. And it's
Mm,
so cleansing and it's so healing
yeah.
that they'll find a lot of healing in their illnesses when they've maybe tried everything else. Like I had gotten to the point where I was past the point of trying new things to heal. I was just like, okay, whatever medicine I'm supposed to take, just give it to me because that's just the way it's going to be. I wasn't trying any new remedies because I had already given up. So I'm glad I stumbled upon it naturally because it was kind of by accident. I had no idea that it was going to help, but it did.
Yeah, yeah. I love your recipes. I'm like, we made so I made your holiday stuffing today, and I had it for Thanksgiving lunch with our friends, and they really enjoyed it. And
Oh, good. It
yeah,
looks good on your stories. I wanted
yeah,
to make the flavors of Thanksgiving. Like it has sage and
yeah.
rosemary and thyme and all these like stuffing flavors that I missed. So I wanted to make something that was similar but different. And I had that bread recipe already. And I was like, why don't I just cut this into squares and throw in like some celery and I don't know. That's what came about.
Yeah, that was cool. And I tried out your previously, like earlier on, I tried out the what was it? The chickenless pot pie. That was for another friend as well, and the
Yeah,
pecan pie cups and all that. And
yeah,
yeah, they loved it. The mushroom stroganoff, yeah, the mushroom stroganoff, and
yeah.
your
The
winter
chickenless
warming
pot
smoothie.
pie is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah. How did your Thanksgiving go today?
it was good. It was very good. Yeah, we met up with friends that we haven't seen for 3 years, so that was really nice. Very grateful to be able
Oh,
to see them again. I thought we would never see them already because they had to leave the country, because of you know what, and then they came back because things have opened up. So that was really nice to see them again. And
oh,
then I only did lunch because I eat very light for dinner, so I can't have like a huge feast for dinner. So
uh-huh.
we had lunch. Yeah. So yeah. That was cool.
That's awesome. I'm used to having Thanksgiving at lunchtime too. We have like a big lunch, and then at dinner, people just have like a few leftovers and stuff.
Oh,
But
right.
But today we're gonna do dinner instead. So we are having a huge dinner. So we're just gonna have like smoothies during the day. And then
Okay.
we have all these plant-based recipes. And I made a pumpkin pie, my raw vegan pumpkin pie. I
Uh-huh.
made that. So we'll have that. And it's just gonna be, I think, three of us, and we're gonna invite my neighbor over. So it's gonna be small, but it's gonna be fun.
Are you making, have you tried anything from the bundle yet? Any of the recipes from the bundle? Have you had time?
Um, I haven't had time to
Mm,
try some of the recipes. I've looked through a lot of the ebooks getting ideas.
yeah.
I just haven't made any of them yet.
There's so many ebooks. I haven't had, yeah. This is the
I've
first
downloaded
time.
them all.
Yeah,
Everybody needs to go download their ebooks. That's the number one thing you got to do is just download them all, and then you can take your time looking through them and trying new recipes. What is your favorite recipe from your ebook, the Christmas book? Well, like, what's your pride and joy in that book?
oh, the beet Wellington. Because I was so determined, like, oh, I need to come up with a raw vegan beet Wellington. And yeah, so that was fun to make. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
That is incredible. I can't wait to make that because it's so amazing because you cut it open and it's got that pink look that a beef would have. That's so cool.
yeah, and I like the raspberry tart as well. Actually, that was also very nice. Yeah. So
It was the raspberry tart.
yeah, I think I called it like a Christmas raspberry tart or something like that. So that's like really pretty and really
Yes, I
nice. So
remember that. Yes, it has the cream on top.
yeah, yeah, the raspberry
Yes,
swirl on top.
that looks so good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, your recipe book looks amazing. And did you do that? Like, were people asking you for holiday recipes? How did that ebook come about where you just decided, I think I'm going to make a Christmas themed ebook?
Yeah, so because I started doing at that time, now I've stopped it. At that time, I was doing like a monthly subscription service. So yeah, Christmas was coming up, and I thought it would be nice to do something Christmassy. And Christmas is actually very huge here in Malaysia. Well, at least in urban KL where I am. You know, if you
Yeah.
go to the mall, like everything's decorated with Christmas decorations. Everybody they're having Christmas sales. You know, like people all dress up and yeah, and really party and people do have like big, huge Christmas parties as well. So yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to do something more Christmas themed.
Yeah.
What I used to do was like I will alternate. So I'll do like 1 month I'll do a Asian themed online course, and then the next month I'll do something that is non-Asian. So yeah, it was like Christmas was coming up, so I thought I'll do that. Yeah, and
And so you made all those recipes in the course of a month. You just kind of made like a few every week as you compiled them all
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Okay.
It was very tiring. That's why that which is why I stopped this year because I was like, I think I'm burnt out from churning out so many recipes, and because I was
Yeah.
doing everything on my own, like the recipes and also like making the booklets, the recipe booklet, and also editing all the videos and all that. So
Yeah. And were you doing them live?
no, it was pre-recorded. Yeah, so it was
Pre-recorded. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, because I have a lot of people who follow me who are not in Malaysia and they're not in the same time zone. I mean, as you know, it was hard already for us to like find a timing that works.
But that's a
Yeah,
reasonable hour for both of us, I know.
yeah. So I
Somebody
do it
asked
all
me,
online.
how long have we both been raw vegan? How long have you
Um,
been?
so I discovered raw vegan in 2014. I started transitioning to being vegan in 2015. So 2016, I was definitely vegan. I'm not 100% raw. I go through phases. I think my first year was like very high raw, and then somewhere along the line, because I started traveling a lot, I was like traveling like 9 times in a year. And when I travel, I if I go to different places and different countries, I want to actually taste the food that they cook, and it's very hard to find
Yeah.
raw vegan restaurants. So I do eat cooked food when I'm traveling or when I'm out eating out with friends and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so 2016 I became transitioned to becoming vegan. I didn't know
Uh-huh.
that it was such a big deal to like remember the date because people keep going like, so how long have you been? I'm like, I don't know. When was the date? I'm like, I don't know. It wasn't like a declaration to the world or anything. It was just to myself. I just decided, you know what? I should just be vegan. Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
already yeah. So so now I don't know the date.
Yeah. Um, I was vegan since, I don't know, 2013, I think. I went vegan and plant-based, and then it wasn't until 2019 that I started I was always interested in raw foods. I knew about Dr. Morse and I followed Dan McDonald and Fully Raw Christina, but I
Mm.
wasn't, so I was eating a lot of raw foods, but I wasn't really like going all the way. And then it wasn't until 2019, so 3 years ago now, that I jumped into the raw world and did probably 95% raw. I was never 100% raw. And now I'm like 80%, you know.
Yeah, because yeah, people tend to ask you like how many percent. I remember when I first started and when I went to Singapore to do courses and
So
conduct
weird.
workshops, and people keep asking like, how many percent raw are you? I'm like, percent? I don't know. I just eat it when I feel like it, and then I mean, when I go out and hang out with friends that eat, cook food and
Yeah,
all that, and just like,
that's the
but
best way to do it is just like just enjoy it and not make it so religious.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I do realize that whenever I eat cooked food, I feel less energy and I do feel like it's harder to digest and I do get a bit of constipation. So I do know that raw is like really good for me and it works for me. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, but it's for me, it's not a religion and I find it like very strange. Like people have to be like, oh, like when they look at like someone saw me post something on cooked food and she's like, why is your name raw chef yin, like if you're not eating raw and all that. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I eat like 80 raw meals in a month, so like I may have some cooked foods like 8 to 10 cooked meals in a month, but the rest of them, 80 of them are raw. Like what's
Yeah.
the problem?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It doesn't it's a balance.
yeah, yeah. Anyway.
I love that. So you had a vegan Thanksgiving. Was it are your friends vegan? And I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you.
they're
Yeah, they
vegan.
were.
Yeah, they're vegan. That's why we were
Oh,
celebrating with them. I wouldn't be celebrating with non-vegan
no,
friends
yeah.
if I
Yeah.
can.
Okay. How do you handle going to non-vegan like family gatherings and things like that? What do you do for
I pack my own food and bring it there. And
yeah?
yeah, I have to put up with the stares and the questions and it's tough. I had this really bad experience like my cousin actually asked, he offered me a cake and I said I said no thanks because there's egg in the cake. And then he looked at me and like, how can you call yourself a chef if you don't use eggs? And I'm like, dude, that's
Oh,
not fair, man. Like,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
so
Yeah.
I do find I think going out with friends is fine. I find like family gatherings is tougher, but I eat before or I bring my own food. I try and bring, some vegan dish for them to try as well and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah. That's where I found the biggest success is just bringing something and letting everybody taste it, and then it starts a conversation about like the food that they're eating, and it's just like, oh yeah, cool. And it just lets them be exposed to the lifestyle and um but I'm sorry, yeah, I haven't had bad experiences with most of my family. They're all like, "Oh, okay, whatever you want to do, that's fine."
I think if it's
Um
like, yeah, immediate family, they used to. I mean, but it's been so many years already, so they used to it. But I think it's when it comes to the extended family, they're still like,
yeah.
yeah, they don't
Yeah,
understand
my
it.
extended family still says like, oh, you need protein to build muscle and stuff like that. It's like, well, you can believe that, but I just so many people, and here's this bundle that you can take to
Yeah, I was
follow
going to say like, look at the bundle.
current.
There's like things on how what like where do you get? Yeah, there's a lot of very protein focused, vegan protein focused
Yes, I love
ebooks in that. So that will be
I
really
love that
helpful.
it's a little bit for everyone, especially who are like starting out, if they are afraid of not being able to get enough protein, there's definitely so many sources in the bundle that people can dive into and make sure that they are getting enough if they're worried about that.
Yeah.
And then there's raw vegan culinary classes, and then there's like sprouting classes, and there's a beauty ebook, and there's a plethora wherever people are at in their journey of just eating more vegetables and fruits and plants. They can find something. There's holiday ebooks. There's juicing ebooks if you're gonna do some juicing, or you just got your juicer and you need some recipes. There's so much in there. Over 3,000 recipes I saw was the final count
Yeah,
of
and
recipes.
it's only 50 US dollars. I realized that, the other day I did the live with Chris and I never told people how much the bundle was. How much it
Oh
cost.
yeah, yeah. It's $50 and the value of it is $9,000. If you had to buy all these ebooks by themselves, that's how much you'd be paying. So it's the perfect time to buy it now. And the catch is there's only one, and that is just that it ends on Monday. And so you just have to get it within a certain time frame. But
Yeah.
if you get it, you have a year to download it, and then once you download it, you have all those ebooks for life. They're yours to have. Um, so I always tell people, go ahead and download it now, and then just save it onto like a folder on your computer, or upload it to Google Drive, and then you can access them on your phone, on your tablet, on your iPad, wherever. Um, yeah, and then just go through them slowly because it's a lot to go through, but you just get it all saved onto your computer, and then just go through, like, even if you went through just a book a week or something and just flipped through, tried some recipes, you'd be well on your way to a healthier lifestyle and to getting a new workout plan. There's all kinds of really cool stuff in there.
Yeah, it'd be a really fun project to like, yeah, just like, do check out one ebook a week, and then see
Yeah,
how you fare for until the rest of the year, yeah, next year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to see what I love about it is that it's everybody's best work. You know, it's the bodybuilders have put forth their stuff on, like, workouts and body
Mm,
training, like what they're so good at. And
mm,
then you and me, both as raw food chefs, we've both put out raw food chef books. And then people that are juicers have put out all these juicing ebooks. And so it's everybody's really their best work, and their biggest expertise is what they put forward. So that's what I love. It's nothing. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, I think I was excited to see that there was a um quite a number of ebooks on like raw for kids as well, and there was that the lunchbox one, the raw vegan lunchbox one. So because I don't really make like very kid friendly yeah
Yeah.
food, so it's really nice to see the mothers putting that in as well. So I thought that was really cool. That
For
was really cool.
kids, that is
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
talk about, like, it's not just like a dollar value, it's like a content value too. Like, the content is so valuable because it's everybody's best work. And then not only that, like, yes, and then there is a great benefit to the dollar value, but just
Yeah.
the like liquid gold that's in there is so amazing.
Because I had like one of my e-newsletter readers, she wrote back to me because she got the bundle, and she thought that the books were going to be like, just a few pages, or they're not like, and then she realized like, wow, this is like really high value, and like, the ebooks, some of them are like 200 pages long and all that, so that you get a lot of value and a lot of recipes, and yeah. And also like today someone was just asking me because I keep making all the raw recipes, right? So she asked me like, is there any cooked ones in there? I say yes, yes, there are loads of cooked ones. I think there are more cooked than raw actually. I
Yeah.
mean raw there's like what, 40 over. I think Chris Kendall said
Yeah,
like
so
maybe
this
45 or
is
something.
40 raw books.
Yeah, but because she does more cooked, so she just got the bundle then, because she's like, oh, there are cooked ones, so she went to get it, and she's like, there's so
Yeah,
many things to download.
so many ebooks to download. It got me excited. I think I'm going to go through some of them today. I've been like having a lot to do. I put it out there in my community that I would make pumpkin pies or cheesecakes for people if they wanted them for their Thanksgivings. So ever since, and then I catered a raw vegan wedding, and that was like,
Wow.
it was like all this, it was like a week's worth of work leading up to the wedding. And then after that, I was making cheesecakes and pumpkin pies. So now that I have a little bit of a break, now that all of that's done and like nobody else is ordering pumpkin pies, I'm gonna sit down with the ebooks I have. It's just gonna be a chill day today where we cook and we make food together, and then I'm gonna kind of go through some of the recipes and ebooks too, and just
Nice.
download. I've downloaded them all, but I need to open them up and actually like look inside of them and
Yeah.
scroll through them.
How so when I'm curious, when you do your catering, like do you have like how many people do you have helping you
So
with that? Yeah.
That was just once. It was a one-time catering. I did it
Uh-huh.
for Healthy Dynamic Life, Lexi. Have you
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
maybe
know.
for her wedding? So she lives in Naples and I live in St. Pete, so we're only 2 hours away. So
Right.
closer than most raw vegan chefs in the area. So
Mm.
it was the first time I had ever catered. I actually have never catered anything before. And I wouldn't cater a cooked event. I just have no desire to do that. Like
Mm.
anybody can do a vegan cooked event, like go
Yeah,
around
exactly,
and
right? That's what I feel like. I'm like, vegan food,
yeah.
like, that's so easy. Like, try raw
Yeah.
vegan.
Yeah. So I put together a menu and I just said, hey, I think that she wanted kind of a potluck. She wanted a buffet style, like where everybody could try different things and just get exposed to the lifestyle. So I made about 11 different things. So appetizers, we had stuffed mushrooms and we had pepper poppers. So it was like sweet peppers filled with cashew cheese. And then a vegetable tray with two different sauces and a fruit tray with two different sauces. And then the entrees, we had pad thai, like a rainbow pad thai, and we had Alfredo, and I made lasagna roll, and I made tacos, and I think there was one other entree. Oh, and a big salad, just like a big seasonal salad that had like oranges and pomegranates and a bunch of seasonal veggies in it. And then for dessert, we had cinnamon rolls and cheesecakes.
Wow.
And by
So,
the time we got to cheesecakes, people had cheesecake and they saved all the cinnamon rolls for breakfast the next
uh,
day because we're already so stuffed. So it was
yeah.
really amazing. And I've never done it before. And I got all the pictures I wanted to. So I'll be putting those into an ebook for raw vegan event parties. Like
Oh,
I made an event
nice.
ebook is
Do
gonna
you
be a
do you have a team working with you to make all this, or
no, I did it all the time.
so you do it all
It was,
yourself?
so the wedding though was only 16
Oh,
people.
okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
if it had been any more than that, I would have hired an assistant.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did have a friend help me for a couple hours the previous day, so that was useful. Um, but other than that, yeah, mostly it was like getting, it was like it's crazy. It's a lot of grocery shopping. You're getting the trays for it, and you're getting the platters, whoa, and you're getting the um just like all the little details. Like you're buying,
Yeah.
I to go buy a frame because I wanted to frame the menu and have
Yeah.
that in front of the food. Just a lot of that, and then you buy the groceries, and then you make the food. It was like just so many steps,
Yes. And
and
there's so much planning to do.
my Jeep broke down on the way there, and I was a half an hour outside of the city. So
Oh no.
the father of the bride came and got me, and we loaded all of the coolers into his car, and then he brought me to the wedding. And luckily, I left with plenty of time, so I was just able to um, get everything set up just in time. But it was an hour later than normal, but we didn't, the wedding still started on time. Hold up, my cat.
Oh, we have something from Secret Squirrels. Oh, hello.
I have to put her aside.
Squirrels Art Gardens. I had to laugh. Mom asked if I like this for my birthday. Oh, I said I was going to give it to her for Christmas and buy for sale. We are ordering them today before we sit down and lunch. Excited. Yay!
That's
That's good to
awesome.
know. Yeah. So, Michelle, I have to go, like,
Okay.
yeah, in a couple
Yeah.
of minutes. Yeah. So,
Yes. I know that we were just going to do a quick live for
yeah.
Thanksgiving. Um, Thank you so much for going live with me and getting to chat about raw foods, getting to chat about the bundle. If anyone wants to check out the bundle, it's in the link in our bios. Is it
Yeah.
in your bio? Yeah,
Yep,
it's in
it's
my
in my
bio.
bio.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can check it out, and it is so valuable. Even if you got just your ebook and my book, it would cover the cost of the bundle, and
Yeah,
then all the
totally.
rest of the ebooks would be free. So
Yeah.
they're literally, it's a 99% off essentially on each of our ebooks. So it's
Yeah.
definitely worth it to go check it out. And purchase that for your holidays and download them. So yeah, I will let you go because I know that you've got things to do. But thank you so much for
You're
going live.
welcome.
Um, Secret Squirrel Art Garden said, "Thank you so much, ladies. So, so much. Very grateful and happy Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Happy
happy Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
everyone. Have a happy holiday. And I can't wait to hear all the recipes that everyone made. All right.
All right. Thanks,
Take
everyone.
care.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.